Sama po natin si Attorney Trixie. Magandang umaga sa inyo, Attorney.
Magandang umaga.
Okay, ngayon po ay maghahalal tayo ng mga senador, mga mambabatas. Hindi po tayo maghahalal ng Pangulo. Ito po ay midterm elections. Pero bakit po ito mahalaga at bakit dapat bumoto po tayo?
Actually, lahat ng eleksyon mahalaga. Ito yung tinatawag natin na constitutionally enshrined political right. Bali, karapatan natin ang pumili ng ating liderato, karapatan natin pumili ng mga tao na gagawa ng ating mga batas at mga rules and regulations both on the local and national levels. So, at saka of course yung mga local leaders natin, in this case for mayors and vice mayors and governors, no? So, ito ang primary exercise, the primary participation ng taong bayan sa demokrasya. At since we're a very young democracy, every time it is news. Kumbaga, kasi ang mga Pilipino, by nature, by culture, we are, kaya may mga miro, no? We are involved. We always want to be in the middle of everything. If there's a national controversy, everybody has their 2 cents in it. In electoral exercises, direct ang participation ng buong taong bayan once they're of voting age. So it is something, it's like a national fiesta, no? It's for the first time in so many years, both our votes and our voices count. So always elections are important. It's direct democracy.
Gaya nga na nabanggit mo, we are a young democracy.
Yes.
Ang ating pong pamahalaan,
Yes.
ating demokrasya ay patterned after the US. Pero syempre
Yes.
po, gaya ng ating napag-usapan kanina bago itong interview ito, nagbabago ito at na-adapt natin sa ating
Yes.
kultura. Ito ba ay nakakabuti sa atin o sa tingin mo kailangan marami pa tayong i-improve sa ating sistema ng pamahalaan?
Well, for example, 'di ba, ang demokrasya ay bunga ito ng particular na history, ng kasaysayan ng bayan na inadapta natin. So in the United States, it works kasi evolution ito ng kanilang governance since their 1777 revolution na naging yung democratic project nila evolve. Yung sa atin, grafted siya. Kasi nung time naman ng Spanish colonial period, they were under a monarchy. So, we did not have an idea of democracy yet. Dinala ito ng mga Amerikano and they did not impose it right away. It took a while, di ba? Kasi colonial nga ang relationship natin with the US. So, although in-adopt natin ang democracy, over the years, ina-adapt din natin according to our particular culture. So for example, we directly vote our president. So pagka national elections, ang boto natin, ang presidente, kailangan ligawan niya lahat ng taong bayan kasi each particular vote is one vote in his favor. In the US, it is by electoral college. So, hindi direct ang vote for president. Sa atin, because nga we are involved culture, we are people who likes to get into the thick of things, we like to vote for a president directly. So, ganito rin yun. In the case of our we have national legislators, the Senate, so we like to vote for them directly instead of voting, dati regional yan, di ba? A senator is voted by a particular region. Ngayon, all the senators are voted at large. So in this sense, we are adopting the tenets of democracy in accordance with our own particular history and culture. The downside is that sometimes we're too hard on ourselves. Kunwari, may mga cases of political dynasties. Merong mga very well-entrenched na families. Now, we tend to become very hard on ourselves kasi parang para sa atin, kailan mag-i-improve ang Pilipinas, kailan tayo when will we stop selling our votes, when will we stop voting for the same tired old faces. We tend to be very hard on ourselves and think na, ay, walang improvement ang bayan kasi ganito pa rin tayo. Ay, walang improvement kasi yung mga trapo pa rin ang nananalo. I think that it's part of our evolution as a people, di ba? So, eventually we will be able to discern, eventually we will be able to see through the local five dams, etc. So that's another thing that is a direct result of our adaptation.
Do you think that a direct result also of the intermingling of democracy and culture, ito pong padrino system,
Yes.
patronage politics,
Yes.
pakipaliwanag po.
Well, because we tend to look at our leaders as people who take That's it's very archaic to some people, but ganun yung nature natin eh. For example, when Miguel Lopez de Legazpi sailed into Manila Bay, he did not see a group of very primitive warriors. Instead, what he saw were different nation states. And these nation states were largely familial-based, family-based. So, kunwari, Manila, the city of Manila is a series of islands and had several nations in them, several kingdoms, as a matter of fact. And they were based on paternal lineages. So, we tend to vote as families, and we also tend to occupy certain positions as families. So, yung ganung klaseng kultura, it's still ingrained in us. So, we have a tendency to go towards families who have established reputations. It's easier because it doesn't allow us to think too deeply and make analysis.
Attorney Trixie, ito po ang pangalawang pagkakataon na maghahalal tayo gamit ang mga PCOS machines,
Yes.
automated elections. Do you think yung pagkakaroon po natin ng automated elections ay binago nito yung political landscape ng ating bansa?
Well, yes, of course. Alam mo dati, I don't know if you've heard the comment na yung excitement ng counting. Sa manual counting, people were still participating in that. So, I remember when I was younger, I'd be a volunteer and manonood kami, minsan by the light of a candle, kasi nawawala ng kuryente or inuumaga, yung kasama sa bilangan yung electoral exercise. So it allowed for fuller participation. And dyan yung mga watchers, yung mga representatives ng mga candidates, inuumaga dun sa ano. So it diminished a certain amount of direct participation. But of course, since everybody still votes, meron pa rin yun. The other is that also since technology takes away a lot of the guesswork. So it changed the participation of lawyers. Kasi hindi na ini-interpret ang ballot ngayon. So dati kasi pag may
So is this bad for you?
Of course it's bad for the profession, but it may be good for democracy. So we'll have to take a hit for that one. So the other thing, of course, is that it becomes far more, since the amount of cheating manually, wala nang nakawan ng ballot boxes, it becomes moot and academic. So to a certain extent, certain electoral violence, election-related violence has been diminished, at least relation to ballot box snatching, yung mga ganon, and the harm to the school teachers who are on election duty.
Pero tumaas daw po ayon sa PPCRV yung insidente naman ng vote buying dahil hindi
Yes.
na nga maggalaw yung canvassing.
Correct. So that is another direct correlation to the PCOS machines, to the technology involved. Since hindi na rin masyadong how do you call this? The areas of persuasion are away na from tampering with the ballots, and they have to go directly to the electorate. They have to find more persuasive means of getting the vote. So vote buying becomes a necessity for certain candidates, and along with that is the election-related violence that happens prior to elections.
Attorney Angeles, kanina po napag-usapan namin na kasama si Ms. Malu Tiquia at
Yes.
si Professor Mon Casiple, itong mga block votes and yung
Yes.
mga vote-rich provinces. Ngayon naman pag-usapan po natin yung Mindanao vote.
Yes.
Unang-una po, nagpunta po ang Pangulo kamakailan lamang sa Maguindanao. Dala po ang ilan sa mga kandidato ng Team Pinoy. Gaano kahalaga po boto ng ARMM when it can only deliver close to 500,000 votes?
Yes, and considering the perspective within the whole of Mindanao, which can deliver millions of votes, the President has decided to make the peace talks part of his enduring legacy. This is something that he wants to leave behind when he's done with the presidency. So ang ibig sabihin nito is Maguindanao is the linchpin of the entire peace talks. As a matter of fact, some of the issues raised regarding the peace talks are the non-involvement of other cultural communities and cultural groups within Mindanao. The Lumad, the Tausug, the Maranao, they have complained about not being part of the peace talks or having very minimal part dun sa peace talks. So nakikita natin na ang perspektibo dito ay ayon dun sa lasting legacy na gustong iiwan ng presidente, at importante ang leadership sa Maguindanao kasi itong mag-establish ng continuity ng talks na yon.
Maraming salamat po, Attorney Trixie Angeles. Mamaya makakasama pa po sa susunod na shift ng ating mga kasamang sina Mark Castrodes at si Princess Sarip, si Attorney Angeles, para mapag-usapan palalo yung Mindanao is very fitting kasi taga Mindanao
Yes.
po sila.